Alright, what's going on, YouTubers? My name is Robert Serrano Jr., and I am the natural born driller. And welcome everyone to WWE 205 Live Review, the show from October 24th, 2018. They were at Newark, New Jersey. After SmackDown Live was over, this is a taping of 205 Live, and it's aired on the Wednesday because of the WWE Mixed Match Challenge that the WWE is doing. Whatever. For your commentators, Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness, and Percy Watson. And for this episode of 205 Live, this was the 100th episode of 205 Live. I wish they would have advertised it, way better. To at least, do like a celebration for 205 Live for doing their 100th episode. But I guess you can't do all, in WWE, even though with all the money and resources and the time that they have. But nevertheless, let's get to the show. The show opened up with Lindsay Dorado, as he being accompanied by two members of the Lucha House Party, Kalisto and Grand Metalik, as Lindsay Dorado goes up against Mike Kanellis, being accompanied by his wife, Maria Kanellis. Match itself, pretty good. I thought that Lindsay Dorado looked good in the match. Even Mike Kanellis, I thought he looked good in the match. Maria Kanellis at one point distracted Lindsay Dorado, where Mike Kanellis took advantage of it. But besides that, the match itself was pretty decent, to say the least. A lot of high flying moves, obviously, from Lindsay Dorado, and a lot of good wrestling offense from Mike Kanellis. Also, and we get to where a spot where Mike Kanellis looked like he's going to lose his first match here against Lindsay Dorado, as Lindsay Dorado went for the Shooting Star Press, if I'm not mistaken, and goes for the cover, but Mike Kanellis got his foot on the rope, saving the match. Also, they start wrestling outside. Mike Kanellis at one point pushes Kalisto to Grand Metalik, and Lindsay Dorado gets to Mike Kanellis, get him in the ring, and Lindsay Dorado, where pertains to Kalisto and Grand Metalik, was distracted because of what happened with that whole situation. Mike Kanellis takes advantage, pulls the top rope as a whiplash onto Lindsay Dorado, or ricochet, to say the least. And also, Mike Kanellis gets I forgot what movie. Oh yeah, it was like going for a DT, and then he turns it into a face that it's the way he basically twisted him in a way. Basically, Mike Kanellis gets the 3 count to win because of that. So yeah, Mike Kanellis wins his first match on 205 Live. Which is no surprise there. I didn't think he was going to lose anyways, but still, pretty decent match. Excuse me. Drake Madrick, the general manager of 205 Live, sits down and talks about milestone for 205 Live for reaching the 100th episode, and talks about last week's main event, where it pertains to Tony Nese win that match, and also where it pertains to tonight's main event for 205 Live, where Mustafa Ali and Hideo Itami, whichever those two win, Drake Madrick is going to make a decision where it pertains to next week's show for 205 Live. And that was basically what he said there. Then we get D. Brian Kendrick talks about Drew Gulak and gentleman Jack Gallagher, about what they did to him, and talks about how many opponents has done the same thing to him, and he ends up coming back, and basically D. Brian Kendrick is challenging gentleman Jack Gallagher to a match next week on 205 Live. Then we get Leo Rush. He cuts a promo about he is still that he is undefeated, and people are talking about how Cedric Alexander hit him with a lumbar check in the 5-way match where he was going to lose, or where people saying that he was going to lose the match because of that. He said unfortunately that's not the case, and he said on top of that, he's like if he would have lost the match, he says that will not affect his undefeated streak, because his undefeated streak only be affected if it's only a 1-on-1 match. So we're going with that storyline now. And it says because of that, that he even though he didn't lose the match, but at the same time he didn't win the match, he is still undefeated. Where it pertains to the Rush Beyond 205 Live. Here we get Dasha Flendez. She interviews Tony Nese, the premier athlete, and Buddy Murphy, the cruiserweight champion. So basically, they heard what Drake Maverick had to say, where it pertains to his role of being general manager, and where it pertains to what's going to happen with Tony Nese for next week against against whoever that Drake Maverick has planned for. Which by the way, it has something to do with Mustafa Ali and Hideo Itami. So, and Buddy Murphy, let Tony Nese talks about how Tony Nese should have been the number one contender from last week's match that he had, which I thought that's what I thought it was, but it wasn't. But I guess he's got doing a 1-on-1 number one contendership match basically for Tony Nese. And Tony Nese says it doesn't matter who's champion between Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese. At the end of the day, it's a new era of 205 Live, and it goes Murphy and Tony Nese. So yeah, now we get to the match, the main event match, which this match was advertised to be Falls Count Anywhere, and no, Mustafa Ali. Well, it is not a Balls Count Anywhere match. But anyway, so I might get that. My previous 205 Live review. Yeah, should check it out too. But yeah, we get a Falls Count Anywhere match between Mustafa Ali versus Hideo Itami. So far, the match started off by Mustafa Ali mouthing Hideo Itami saying, "You want me to show you respect?" He said, "I'll show you respect." And also they do a cutter and tie up. And the Falls Count Anywhere match where the rivalry is supposed to be personal and blah blah blah, and yet they do a cutter and tie up. I didn't like it. But as the match went by, there was no cutter and tie ups, and there was rarely any wrestling moves, basically. I mean, there were a few wrestling moves, obviously, but there was barely any wrestling moves, based on what they did here. So, they start fighting outside the ring, and then also they start fighting back inside the ring, and then also they start fighting right back outside the ring. And then they start fighting back inside the ring, and then also they start go back outside the ring again, where they're wrestling at the broadcast table. My sister. What she? I don't know if that's supposed to be a call or whatever, but anyways, yeah, but they'll start fighting on the broadcast table, and basically Mustafa Ali was going to do something to Hideo on the broadcast table, but Hideo trying to counters basically, and he gets him in the Boston Crab in the painful way that he can. Just Falls Count Anywhere. You could get pinfalls and submissions anywhere you want. Just have to be in the ring. It could also be outside the ring. Ali got out of it, but it got kicked off at the broadcast table by Hideo Itami to the desk chair. And like, holy shit, that was insane. They fought in the crowd for a little bit, only for Mustafa Ali giving a super kick, and then also they start fighting right back at ringside. They start fighting at the Yahweh. They weren't putting music steel steps, but not fully though. But it was used to it was going to be used basically by Hideo Itami, but Mustafa Ali cuts him off because of that. They continue to fight and everything. Mustafa Ali won't forget a table. He gets a chance to sit up though as Hideo attacks him. And once again, the steel steps are once again trying to be used again by Hideo Itami, but Mustafa Ali cuts him off every time he tries to use it. Also, and Ali ran on the steel steps, and only for Hideo to trip him off, hitting the steel steps chest first. And then Hideo Itami gets the steel steps that he got from the other side and tries to crush Mustafa Ali, but misses. And then Mustafa Ali fights back at Hideo, and then Hideo ramps into the steel steps, but then also Mustafa Ali does like a wall jump type of thing on the steel steps, and then goes for his tornado DDT until he did time from the outside. And also, now he had the opportunity to set the table outside the ring, and he puts Hideo on the table, and he climbs up the top rope from the inside the ring. And keep in mind, folks, he set the table out. He set the table outside the ring, not inside the ring, but outside the ring. And as Mustafa Ali goes up there, and Hideo was laid out on the table, Mustafa Ali on the top rope there, he says, "I've always respected you," and then he does the 450 splash out of the ring into the outside on the broadcast table. And then you have Vic Joseph on commentary saying the 054. Like, no, it wasn't. I mean, it would have been cool if Mustafa Ali was in the 054. You know, the inverted 450 splash or the imploded 450 splash. But no, it was just a regular 450 splash. So, a little basically Vic Joseph got way over his head and got too excited that he got that mixed up by calling that the 054, which it was just a regular 450 splash. but Hideo got hit with it, and it was a nice nasty bump from that 450 splash by Mustafa onto Hideo on the outside, and gets a 3 count in the win. So your winner of this falls count anywhere and his feud, Mustafa Ali, in a very good match, folks. Very, 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 very good match. Also, we get Dasha Flendez, in Drake Barrett's office to interview him about what's his idea for next week for 205 Live main event. So Drake Barrett lets her know, and everyone else know that was watching, that next week is going to be Tony Nese, the premier athlete, versus Mustafa Ali, the heart of 205 Live, in a normal contendership match to face Buddy Murphy in the future for the Cruiserweight Championship, whenever. So between Tony Nese and Mustafa Ali, that one is for next week's main event, normal contendership match, and the winner of that match gets to face Buddy Murphy, which I'm assuming, folks, that's going to happen at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. I go and guess. But there you go, folks. That was 205 Live. Talking about wrestling for 205 Live. 2 matches from October 24th, 2018, and my overall score for the show. I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. Good show. Very, very good show. As no surprise there, but yeah, very good show. And with that being said, folks, thank you all for watching. If this is your first time watching me, my name is Robert Serrano Jr., and I am the Natural Born Thriller. Please subscribe to me if you haven't yet. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. The choice is yours and yours alone. And with that being said, I'll see you all later on with my NXT review, and then following after that one, I'll give you my NXT UK review. But for now, I gotta go watch those shows though, and I'll see you all later. And for now, peace on the streets.